Hi guys, it's Rick Péwé for Gone Jeep, and I'm here with Neil Young. He's the
Hello.
chief product engineer, Jeep Performance Products.
That's
really.
correct. That's correct.
He knows everything about the good stuff, the parts of Jeep that we're going to show you
The fun
here
stuff.
on Surge.
That's right.
Now, Surge is really an interesting vehicle. It's what, a 66 CJ-6?
That's correct. Yeah. 66. Yeah,
So
66 CJ-6.
You never figured that out from everything you've done to it, but it's actually a recharged vehicle, right?
Yeah,
Because it
actually.
was a concept.
Yeah, in essence, is what we think will be the real-world applications. What we did is we said, hey, people take vehicles and they resto mod them all the time, but they start out with something that already exists. That's what we did here. We recycled this from a previous concept as a show vehicle / development vehicle / physical property to interface with customers, potential customers.
That sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the best part about this, other than it being a 66 CJ-6, is what's under the hood. So let's take a look at that.
Let's take a look at what's under here.
Now, that is not the stock V6 or the Hurricane 4-cylinder.
No, it is not. What you're looking at here is we have a 200 kilowatt motor. It's a motor power inverter combination. So we took out the crate engine that was here as previous part of the concept. It's a scalable system. What you have here is a 400 volt system, and again, we can scale it based on power, length, and so forth, depending on the application. But what we're looking at here is more of a mainstream environment, something that has performance, torque, power, but something that we can leverage our resources and knowledge from all the electrification going on in the company and the new vehicle programs. Just like we did with the Hemi crate programs, right? We take a known product, durability, love for the performance, and then we're putting it into a resto mod.
Well, this is what Jeep owners do, especially older Jeep owners. They upgrade or change the engine that it originally came with. They're looking for more power, more range, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And what we have now is something that hopefully will cure everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can make it, like you said, it's scalable, so it could be larger, but it also
Correct.
more power. And horsepower?
So 200 kilowatts, it comes out to be like 268 horsepower roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of magnet size, change it, length of the system.
But you could actually physically make this twice as large.
Yeah. I mean,
If we had the room.
absolutely. Yeah, if you look at it, there's a lot of room in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I noticed this is a radiator.
Correct.
So tell us why an electric vehicle needs a radiator.
Yeah, so something that a lot of people don't understand is that the electrical devices also have optimum operating performance. They have wide ranges, but there's an optimal area. For example, the battery, which we'll touch on in the bat, we have a 50 kilowatt hour battery, but there's an optimal range to get that peak energy, whether it's current in or current out, regen or acceleration, and you want to try to keep things at that optimal range as much as possible. And then the EDM power electronics also have cooling requirements. So you have this cooling module here, and it may have multiple loops.
Cooling module, good
Yes.
word for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But it may have multiple loops for the different devices, but the cooling is still very important.
Right, I mean, like anybody that has a regular 12-volt battery knows, the performance decreases as the temperature decreases.
Right.
And then, of course, if it's too hot, that's not good either.
Right.
So
Yep.
basically what you're doing is, with the cooling module,
Right.
you're optimizing everything within the engine.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good. And what if I wanted air conditioning? For some crazy reason, what if I wanted air conditioning?
Not an issue.
Just an
those
electric compressor.
accessories. Yeah. Those accessories are available and they're becoming more prolific.
Right. So
Okay.
that's the key on this, but how about the rest of it? Look at, we got the big electric winch, obviously the blue tow hooks. What about the rest of it?
Yeah, this is nice detail. We're keeping in with the theme, the surf blue accents with the Jeep electrification, like the plug-in hybrids. Also, we have the Magneto. We got a modified like JK steel bumper again. Something that is very important in the type of application we think this sits in. You have the oversized tires with the solid wheels.
And the wheels.
But a lot of the suspension is we kept based on the previous concept,
Right.
which was also very capable. So we have the shocks, the coilovers associated with the live axle. But again, keeping the live axles, We
Right.
kept that, kept the north-south orientation, trans with the 2-speed transfer case. So try to keep it in a package that someone, with some basic mechanic skills wouldn't be intimidated by, right?
So this has a 6-speed transmission?
It is. It's automatic.
Well, it's automatic. Okay.
Yeah, it's automatic.
But with a 2-speed transfer case.
Correct,
So
correct.
theoretically, from Jeep Performance Parts, in the future, I can buy this motor module and everything and install it in my own old Jeep.
Correct.
That's
yeah,
what
the
we're
idea.
looking forward to.
Yep, comes with the charger module, charge port over on the side. We come back, the battery, the kit, and the wiring. The wiring harnesses are more sophisticated these days, but that's the idea.
Because it's a CJ-6, I mean, it's obviously it's a CJ5 door, but a 6 has a longer bed. And what you've done here looks like batteries in the back?
That's correct. Yeah, so we have a 15 kilowatt hour battery back here. It's made up of 24 modules. Again, the scalable part of this whole package, we're using production intent modules. So things that are developed at high volume with all the quality checks that you would get from a high volume production, but putting them in a shell that fits the package more appropriately.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, in the future, are we going to have smaller battery packs so we can have an ice chest and a couple of kids in the back?
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, even with the way this is set up, we kind of put the motor, so the front, there's opportunity. We talked about how big it is.
Right.
We put the motor up high so people could see it. It's an attractive piece up there with the badging and the machining, but you could put that lower, and you could put a battery up there, maybe cut this one in half, connect the batteries together. Absolutely. There's a lot of flexibility and personalization that could go into it.
Right, which is exactly what people with Jeeps, especially older Jeeps, they really like that.
Yeah.
So when you start buying the battery module and the charging module and the engine module and all that, putting it all together, of course there's going to be a learning curve, but it's the same basic thing that we've been doing for years, dropping a 392 Hemi in here.
Yeah.
And then of course you'll have the same chargers, right? Stage 1 and Stage 2.
Yep, that's
Stage
correct.
1 is basically just a 110 charger.
Right.
With all the special electronics, and you don't just plug it in.
Safety, yeah.
And then again, the Stage 2 is a 220.
Yep.
Again, with special electronics, so you don't just plug it into your wall.
Exactly. And that kind of leads into, as we talked about the application, we did this so that we could talk to future customers, but this is clearly not your typical everyday driver. This is more of the fun, open air, off-roading, enjoying. I mean, you see people all the time towing these, right? They'll tow these behind a trailer, they'll tow them on a trailer, and that's what we're kind of dreaming for this type of package, because you can, with that battery size, that motor, you can do all those trails in Moab. You can do a couple days of trails before you would actually ever have to plug it in, because it's lower speed, just high torque kind of environment.
Exactly.
And so we're trying to get
go
feedback.
Home, put it on the trailer, tow it back out Ohio or wherever you're from. Great concept. It's probably one of the best ones we've seen in this show.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll share that with the team. We're really excited about the future for this.
Well, here's the problem with electricity. Everybody says, oh, don't need that. Gas only, right? Well, yeah. There'll always be gas. It's like electric guitars.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
They didn't supplant the acoustic guitar.
Right.
Right? So they're still around. So, yeah, what's wrong with going to the future?
Exactly.
I don't see a Stanley Steamer around here, do you?
Right. I don't either.
As you can see, we're at SEMA, so there's a lot of excitement about these things. We want to know what you guys like. Share and subscribe, and let us know.
Yeah, please.
Electric?
We want the feedback. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's what this is for. See you next time.